The sun was going down over the big hills, making everything look warm and pretty across the quiet land where Ethan had bought his house after many years working a scary government job where bad people were always around and he could barely sleep. He wanted quiet so bad, a place to rest and feel better. He found it in a small house at the end of a long, bumpy road with old big trees and open grass everywhere. It wasn't fancy, but it was his old dog Shadow, a good friend with gray hair around. His face and smart eyes that saw everything. Ethan's grandpa, a farm worker with rough hands and a clever brain, used to say, "A man's land is like his castle, no matter how small." Those words stayed stuck in Ethan's heart, helping him find this safe place for a while. Everything was great until the neighbors decided his private road was like their own highway, and one lady, Patricia, the mean boss of the homeowners group, decided she'd take it for herself. It started slowly, a car here, a truck there, driving through Ethan's road to get home faster. He didn't care at first, but more cars came, making his rocks turn to dirt and ruining his quiet Patricia, who lived in a perfect big house in the nearby neighborhood, was the worst one she'd drive fast through, in her shiny big car, never waving or looking like Ethan's land belonged to her. He tried to be nice, putting up clear signs that said private land, keep out. They didn't listen. So he did something stronger, putting up a strong metal fence at the road's start from the big highway. Nothing fancy, just a clear line. Shadow sat next to him as he screwed it in place, tail wagging like he liked it. Ethan put up cameras that turned on when someone moved, fancy ones that could see at night, and save videos, a habit from his old job where being ready kept him alive. He thought that would fix it, quiet time back, but that fence wasn't the end. It was like lighting a match he never saw coming the next morning. Ethan was drinking coffee on his porch, Shadow sleeping by his feet, when a loud car engine broke. The calm Shadow's ears went up, a quiet growl coming from his chest down by the fence. Patricia's big car stopped fast. She jumped out, face red, arms moving like she was fighting invisible enemies. She kicked the fence hard, then pushed it with her car front, once, then again, harder. Ethan walked down, keeping his steps normal, his voice calm, even though his stomach felt tight. "Morning, Patricia. This is private land. My land signs are up." Her answer was mean signs. "I'm the HOA boss. I use this road. My sisters on the town group open this fence, or I'll have it broken down." Ethan leaned against a fence. "Post not moving, no, Patricia. It's on my land. It stays," she screamed about calling the police. Her lawyer, the HOA, saying he was blocking a public road, then she drove off, rocks flying. Shadow touched Ethan's hand like saying that was trouble. Ethan nodded. "Yeah, boy, big trouble." He looked at the camera videos later, super clear. Patricia's fit, her kicks, her car's mean pushes. He saved many copies. Knowing this was just the first fight, Patricia wasn't the kind to give up. She loved being in charge. And Ethan had just said no to her crown. The farm wasn't just land to him. It was a promise after years of watching out. He'd saved every dollar to buy this safe place. He'd walked around it, learned the maps that showed the road was his, with no public paths. His grandpa's stories of protecting their family farm played in his head. Draw your line, son, and keep it strong. Ethan was ready to keep this. The HOA's first attack came days later in a fancy envelope with their picture. Shadow smelled it. Carefully inside was a rule-breaking notice fence, not allowed blocking community road. A big fine was written with a demand to take away the fence in 7 days or get more trouble. Ethan read it twice, a cold, mad feeling growing. This wasn't a mistake. It was a power game. Patricia was using the HOA like a weapon. He tried being nice, first calling the HOA phone. Patricia's message greeted him sounding fake sweet. No call back. He drove to her house, a perfect shrine to fancy neighborhood life. She was taking out shopping bags, her face getting sour seeing him. "Patricia, the road's private. It's on my papers," he said calmly. She laughed, sharp and mean. "The HOA group says it's a community path. Pay the fine and take away the fence, or we'll do something." When he talked about the camera videos of her hitting the fence, her eyes changed, but she got meaner. "Lies won't help you. You have 7 days now, leave, or I'll call the police for bothering me." Her mean smile as he drove away said, this was personal. The weeks that came next were like mean bullying. Notices came in, doubled fines for the fence, a ticket for grass, 1 4-inch too long near the big road, a warning about his 6 chickens being the wrong kind. Shadow tried to chew one letter, Feeling Ethan's anger, Ethan's friend Nate, a local fix-it guy with crazy ideas, found it funny and sad. "She's got a rule for her rules, man," he'd say, holding an unlit cigar. "My cousin got fined for a happy garden statue. You should paint that fence." Bright pink ad party lights, Ethan said no. But Nate's jokes kept him calm. Instead, he got organized. Using his old job's skills, he bought a folder, put every letter, took pictures of things they said were wrong. The grass was 5 inches, not 3, and wrote everything in a chart. He read the HOA rules, finding unclear parts about community paths that Patricia was changing to fit her plan. Shadow became his guard dog, growling whenever Patricia's big car drove by, taking photos from the road. Nate, watching one day, smiled. "She's making her own trouble." "Ethan, this is going to be a big fight." Patricia's next move was a county checker called by her sister's town group friends the checker. A tired man named Carter seemed like he didn't want to be there. Ethan showed him the papers, survey maps, and county drawing proving the road was private. Carter, careful but fair, decided, "No rule breaking here. It's your land, your fence." It was a win, but it made him wonder, why was Patricia so crazy about this? That night, unable to sleep, Ethan looked at county papers online at 3 a.m. with Shadow touching his hand. He found an old HOA building plan with a hand-drawn map showing a planned horse trail crossing his road going to empty land. Further digging showed the empty land was owned by a fake company tied to Patricia's sister, Councilwoman Evans. The pieces came together, making Ethan's road open would make the empty land worth more money for building, filling her family's bank. Accounts, this wasn't about a shortcut. It was a smart land steal hidden by HOA meanness. Ethan had a choice. He could tell the newspapers or use it to quietly make Patricia give up his grandpa's voice. Warned, don't act like them. Son, truth is your weapon. Ethan picked the good way, but he'd use that truth like a sword. He started getting neighbors on his side, carefully sharing his fence troubles. Old man Thornton, fined for making noise with wind chimes, nodded seriously. That woman's a bully. Mrs. Larson, whose flowers Patricia had said were wrong, gasped. She's trying to steal your road. Ethan planted seeds of doubt, building quiet help. Then came another HOA letter, an emergency meeting to talk about Ethan's continued rule-breaking and possible punishments like taking his house or suing him. Patricia was going for the kill, but Ethan was ready to turn her trap into his win the week before the meeting. Ethan's dinner table became a workspace. He got ready, big survey maps, copies of Carter's report, and a terrible video clip of Patricia's fence attack. He also got together the fake company proof, his secret weapon. Nate said he'd mess up Patricia's presentation with funny cat pictures, but Ethan asked him to just film the meeting as backup. The night came, the meeting room packed with neighbors wanting to see the drama. Patricia, glowing with fake niceness, started with a slideshow about getting along, then attacked Ethan, making him sound like a selfish outsider blocking an important road. She showed photos of his fence called an illegal block when the note-taker asked if Ethan wanted to talk. He went to the front, heart beating fast but voice steady. He started with facts, his papers, the county drawing, Carter's report. No public path, no rule-breaking, quiet talking spread, then the video. Patricia's red-faced rant, her kicks, her car's mean rams, loud gasps everywhere. Patricia jumped up, screaming, "That's fake!" Ethan calmly said, "It's time-stamped from a non-stop feed. I have hours more." The room went silent, her believability falling apart, but Ethan wasn't done. "This isn't just about a fence," he said, voice quiet, getting everyone's attention. He showed the old HOA map, the trail crossing his land, then the fake company. Papers ending with Councilwoman Evans' name, making my road open, helps empty land owned by Patricia's sister. This isn't about community, it's about money. The room exploded in shocked whispers and angry stares. Thornton yelled, "I knew this HOA was." Bad Larson asked, "Is this true?" Patricia's calm face broke lies, slander. "My sister's a public worker," but the proof was clear. A neighbor, Mr. Hayes, stood. "I've seen you help friends and hurt others for years. I want someone to check HOA money." Another group member, Lisa, suggested a no-trust vote against Patricia, and a money check hands went up, the idea passing by. Patricia's power fell apart. Right then, her face showing anger and fear. Her sister there in the back snuck out face. White Nate started slow clapping, joined by others. Not for Ethan, but for fairness. Ethan gathered his papers, tired but happy. He protected his castle and showed a bully in the months that came next. Quiet returned. The fence stayed strong. The road stayed private. The money check found years of HOA bad management under Patricia starting investigations into her and her sister. Patricia, avoided by neighbors, sold her house and left new HOA leaders focused on being fair, said sorry to Ethan, and canceled the fines, sitting on his porch with Shadow watching the sunset. Ethan thought of his grandpa, stand tall son, but keep your heart clean. He'd done that fighting, not just for his land, but for truth, making his corner of the world a little better. The question that had pushed him, how far would he go, had an answer as far as truth needed no further, no less.